Welcome to Be a Better Landlord. My name is Ashley Kerr, and today we are going to talk about how to not drive yourself crazy dealing with tenants. This whole episode is going to be on tenant communication, how to set boundaries, expectations, and how to not be bombarded and overwhelmed with communicating with your tenant. If you're not already, make sure you are subscribed to the TurboTenant YouTube channel and make sure you like this video. When I first started as a property manager, I was managing a 40 unit apartment complex. And I was basically dropped into the office and said, here you go, figure it out. So my first thought was to have a cell phone that was strictly for property management. And I allowed myself to be available 24/7. So I was carrying around two phones, like the song, and that one phone would ring constantly. And I always carried it with me. I always answered because I thought that was part of being a landlord. You were available 24/7. And that's not necessarily the case. There are some restrictions for things that you can put into place. You can put them into the lease agreement to give yourself some sanity because there was definitely times I was overwhelmed, was crying, wanting to rip my hair out because I had set no boundaries and expectations. And also, it wasn't convenient or clear for my tenants either as to how was the best way to get a hold of me for different issues. So now I'm using TurboTenant. And TurboTenant, I have all of the messages saved right into the TurboTenant dashboard. So I see all of the communication. This is really important because it's so easy to go back and look. Before, I used to have to dig back through my text message history before I was able to find a message that I needed for something or to follow up on something. So now it all lives in one place. Before that, I was using Google Voice. So this eliminated the use for the second phone. And I had a Google Voice number that was connected to my other phone where people could call, they could leave a message. So in TurboTenant, you can't call someone through there, but you can actually set, if you set a listing, and you can actually disguise your number and have somebody call you, but they're not getting your direct number too, which I think is really convenient. But besides the messaging, having a great place if you want your tenants to call you and not just message you through TurboTenant, setting up a Google Voice number is a really great way. So with the Google Voice number, I can actually transfer that to someone else's phone or have it on both of our phones at the same time. So say I'm going out of the country and I don't want to talk to anybody, I can go ahead and have somebody else take those calls for me for those properties too. And then in the voicemail, you can kind of set the expectations as to here's when I'm available, or say, I'll get back to you within 24 hours. If this is an emergency, this is what you do. Whatever your instructions are for an emergency, then I would put those into the voicemail as to how they can reach you if this is more urgent. In the lease agreement, I specifically state the best ways to get a hold of me. And the first one is messaging through TurboTenant. And then the second is the Google Voice number if they need to call. Pretty much everybody messages me through the TurboTenant app, and I rarely ever even get a phone call, which is nice because all the communication stays in one place. If somebody does call me, I log it into my notes under that tenant so I still have a record of that communication. Now, for maintenance requests, I have a different form of communication and expectation. For maintenance requests, they all must be done through TurboTenant, where the tenant goes into their app, they log in, and they go ahead and submit their maintenance request. Then the TurboTenant AI kind of takes care of it and makes sure they're giving me all of the information I need and the information that my vendor or maintenance guy would need to correctly identify and address the issue. And then from there, it gets sent to me. And then I'm deciding as to which vendor I want to send it to. Then I'm assigning it to them, and then it gets sent to them. And then they have all their information for the tenant, the contact information, and they go ahead and schedule directly with the tenant to go ahead and make the repair. If there's anything to take away from this, I think that there's no expectation that you need to be available 24/7. If there is an emergency, then yes, there should be a way for a tenant to be able to get a hold of you. So, for example, this could be they're putting in a maintenance issue and you're making sure that you have somebody that's always available to check the maintenance. There's also that you could give them a phone number to call, and if they're calling that phone number, it's an emergency. But I think weeding out those questions or the non-emergency items are which going to be your saving grace, where tenants have a place to vent, to ask questions, to feel like they are able to reach you and communicate with you without you feeling like you need to be available 24/7. So that's why I love having all my messaging in one place and also a separate number. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you for listening to Be a Better Landlord. And if you have any advice on how you are handling your tenant communication, please go ahead and leave it below.